All right, Sleepy Joe, wake up. It's time to rank the One Piece arcs.
Oh, I love this one. Definitely my favorite shonen. Hey, Donnie, do you want to get Barack in this? I heard he just caught up to Egghead.
Yeah, I guess Obama can join in. Let me go ahead and invite him.
Hey fellas, I heard you're doing a One Piece arc tier list. I can't wait to see where my favorite arc, Thriller Bark, ends up.
Are we really starting this already? Thriller Bark is as, if not more, boring than one of Sleepy Joe's speeches.
He's right.
I don't understand what you guys don't like about that arc, but fine. We'll get there when we get there. Now let's start with Romance Dawn.
AE tier at the very least. I will die on this hill.
You'll die in office first before I let you put this boring-ass arc in A tier?
What don't you like about Romance Dawn, Donald?
Yeah, Joe's right on this one. I can concede how the arc can be seen as boring to most. But the payoffs that we are receiving as readers hundreds of chapters after this arc outweigh most of the problems I have with it.
Yeah, Trump, you can't deny that learning about who forged the Sendai Kitetsu and how that swordsmith relates to Zolo's family tree wasn't a great payoff.
Oh, please, Joe. Oda revealed Zoro's flashback in an SBS. A fucking SBS, Joe. Do you know how insulting that is? Wait a minute, Joe. What the hell do you mean by Zolo? But more importantly, are you including Romance Dawn all the way through Logtown in your ranking?
Yeah, I thought that chapters 1 through 100 were all just Romance Dawn.
You're thinking of sagas right now? We are ranking individual arcs. Jesus Christ, Joe, if I knew you were this stupid, I would have picked a different vice president.
No, I'm the president.
Can we just put this as B tier and move on?
Fine. Next is the Baratier.
D tier. Sanji instantly became my least favorite Straw when he gave that Jin guy some food. Completely ass-backwards business model, if you ask me.
Trump, what the hell? The Baratier arc is at least B tier for the Zoro-Mihawk fight alone.
Who cares about that fight? My number one lost.
Is Zolo all you care about, you dingus?
I'm not going to listen to takes from imbeciles who pronounce it Zolo.
That's what Viz says it is, you numbnuts.
That doesn't change that it's a dumb fucking translation. We all know it's supposed to be Zoro. Hell, Joe, by your logic, I guess they're called load poneglyphs. Joe?
No, that's a dumbass name. Obviously, they're road poneglyphs.
So why isn't it Zoro, Joe?
Listen, buddy, I'll concede calling Zolo Zolo isn't everybody's preference, but can we please get back to the tier list and get past the East Blue saga?
Joe is right. We need to move on. I'm okay with throwing Baratier in B tier for now, and I'm willing to change that if we need to later on.
I'm okay with that, but I swear to God, if Donnie Boy over there fanboying over a specific character makes something S tier or D tier, I'm not going to stick around to finish this list.
Okay, Trump, can you agree not to use your opinion on a character to rank an entire arc?
Fine.
Okay, next we have Syrup Village.
Easiest fucking S tier of my goddamn life. Praise be to God, Usopp.
God damn it, you fucking hypocrite, Joe. We all know Syrup Village deserves a solid C tier at best.
I hate to agree with Obama, but for once in the past 15 years, he's right. Kuro was in no ways an intimidating villain, and the entire side story with Django is so dumb. Even the cover stories couldn't salvage that, Joe.
God damn it, guys, can I have at least one word as to why it's S tier?
No.
Sure, Joe, what is it?
Kaya.
That's a child, Joe.
I like what I like.
You make my re-election easier and easier each day, Creepy Joe.
C tier. Okay, guys, next we have a really good one.
Oh, are we on Arlong Park now?
Yes, sir. Now, what do we think of this behemoth?
Well, Barry, I think this is going to be a little controversial, but even though this is the first long-form arc of the story, I didn't really enjoy this one.
What the fuck did you say, you decrepit old fart? Arlong Park was the arc that hooked me on One Piece as a story, and you dare to tell me it doesn't belong in S tier? Fuck you, Joe.
Whoa, Donnie, I did not say that at all. I agree it should be an S tier, but almost every major long-form arc after Arlong Park was significantly better in almost every way. I'm not discounting Arlong Park's impact, especially the Usopp and Nami scene.
Oh, here we go.
But, and I especially mean this at this point in the story, the defeat of the Arlong pirates did nothing for anyone except the people of Kokoyasi Village and Nami.
Oh, that is so cap, Joe, but I will let this preposterous take slide if it means we can move on to Logtown.
Easily an A-tier arc to show Luffy in such a precarious situation this early in the story and show us the divine intervention that will be used to keep him alive was great. Plus, everybody loves Buggy.
I love Buggy. He's my second favorite clown in the story.
I like Buggy too, guys. You know what? I'm willing to put this one in A tier.
Finally, now we can get to the big boy arcs.
Hallelujah, we're on the Grand Line. Time to rank Alabasta.
You mean Arabasta?
Okay, you dickhead, I see how hypocritical my Zorro speech was now.
Alabasta is easily an S-tier arc.
I'm cool with that leisure suit, Barry.
Jesus Christ, did the USA leave my DNA, or did we all three just agree on something?
Well, guys, I think we should actually talk about the individual arcs that make up the Alabasta saga.
I'm okay with that, so long as you assholes put Drum Island in S tier.
Okay, Obeezy, what arc started Alabasta again?
Reverse Mountain.
I'd give that one an A tier. It introduced Crocus and Laboon as major characters that we keep coming back to, and also the scene of the Straw Hats going up the red line is legendary.
I'd go with B tier, not too exciting for me.
What the hell is wrong with you, Joe?
It wasn't that good, Trumpet.
Joe, if you're going to argue with Trump about every single arc, we're never going to get anywhere. Can we agree that Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, and Little Garden are all A tier, while Drum Island and Alabasta itself are both S tier?
Little Garden
Whiskey
is
Peak
S tier.
is S tier.
Jesus Christ.
Little Garden is so important to the overall story. It introduced giants and the idea of Elbaf, and also showed us that certain devil fruits can overpower others simply due to timing and their unique powers.
Jesus Christ, I slept through Little Garden Joe. Whiskey Peak is clearly an S-tier arc. Zorro taking on 100 swordsmen and winning is a beautiful picture to paint for the main wing of the King of the Pirates.
Look, I'm putting them where I said I was putting them. Neither of those arcs are better or even on the level of Alabasta and Drum Island.
Kill yourself, Barack.
Fuck you both. Next we have Jaya and Skypea.
These two arcs are goated. I will not accept anything under S tier for these. Hell, you could group them together as one arc, and it would only make the story even richer.
I agree with Sleepy Joe here. Blackbeard's speech about dreams, Bellamy juxtaposing Luffy's idealistic and dream-having life, and the backstory behind Noland is probably the best in the series.
You guys are fucking stupid. Skypea is one of two arcs you can skip in the story and nothing would change.
Obama, you dipshit, do you not understand what a microcosm is?
Yeah, Barry, don't you know what a microorganism is?
I understand how you could think that Skypea is a microcosm of One Piece, but I personally don't see it.
Are you shitting me, Barry? Luffy liberated an entire race of people that exist outside of rule from the world government but existed under rule of Eminem. And once Luffy liberated them, they had a huge party in the style of Joy Boy. I know you just caught up, but Jesus Christ, Barack, I just can't see how you think Skypea is bad.
It was everywhere. For half of the arc we're in the past, and for the other half we're in the present. Except we're split between three different perspectives, although only one matters. Plus Luffy being sent to the bottom of the beanstalk after clearly overcoming Eneru's lightning Logia. The only reason Oda did that was because he knew that Luffy would instantly win against Eneru.
It's Luffy, you dipshit. Did you even read the arc Obama?
Michelle read it to me as a bedtime story.
Put that shit in S tier and move on then. She can't read, and clearly you can't understand the importance of an arc like Skypea. Hell, Barry, your presidency was my Skypea.
What the fuck does that mean, Joe? I don't care enough. Let's just continue. Water 7.
C tier.
A tier.
What the fuck?
Joe, what the hell? Why is Water 7 a C tier arc?
Well, Obama, it's just not as powerful as the arc that precedes it or the arc that immediately follows it. Plus, the lead up to Aqua Laguna and the entire portion with the sea train was just a slog, man.
What the fuck are you on, Joe? I know it's not Adderall because then you'd be somewhat attentive to what you're saying. Water 7 is a magnificent piece of the story and serves well, not only as a mystery, but as a journey through oneself once they abandon the only hope they had in the world for reasons that they themselves believe are right.
Usopp fighting the crew made no narrative sense.
Joseph. He couldn't move on from the past. I get that you have trouble with catching up to the present day, but not everyone does. And in this case, Usopp couldn't handle that even though his decision made perfect sense to him. To the rest of the crew, and more importantly, their captain, the Straw Hats, decided on a new ship.
Usopp left the crew, L take C tier dog shit.
Put Water 7 in A tier before I use those nuclear codes I borrowed.
Fine, it's going in A tier.
L list, L mans, L take.
El President.
All right, fellas, how do we feel about Eni's lobby?
Holy S tier Sogeking.
I agree with Biden, but I'm sure he's only in it for Usopp, that biased prick. I think the arc deserves S tier because of the Luffy-Lucci fight. That fight, along with Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, was a majestic power-up, and one that was definitely needed.
I agree, Trump. I actually think that this wasn't a wasted shonen power-up. I think that the gear system in One Piece is a conclusive way to gauge not only Luffy's power at the time, but also his opponents.
Excellent observation, Barry. I think the gear system is a great power scaling system as well. Also, the moment in the story comes when Usopp tells Luffy, What the hell? That was weird. I guess Sleepy Joe got tired. Anyway, as I was saying, the best part of the story comes when Usopp tells Luffy,
Hello, you two wonderful people. My name is Joe Gicking.
"Oh my God."
Joe, this is stupid. I get that you like Usopp, but goddamn.
Usopp is the best character in all of One Piece, and you can both suck my presidential dick if you think otherwise.
Okay, Joe, whatever. I'm putting Eni's Lobby in S tier. Oh my God, you fucking wrinkle dicks. It's fucking time. It's finally time for Thriller Bark.
Meaty.
This arc sucks.
Of course you would think that, Joe. I bet you didn't like your kind being made fun of.
White people?
No, zombies, you old bitch.
Fuck you, Barack.
I thought that one was pretty funny.
Fuck you too, you plump orange sack of shit.
Now hold on, Joe. I'm trying to agree with you. I think Thriller Bark is ass.
Thank God there's someone with half a brain in this call.
You're the one with half a brain, you limp dick kid sniffer. Thriller Bark is a good arc, and I will stand by that.
Take away the nothing happened scene, and all you're left with is a boring arc where nothing gets done except obtaining Brook.
I hate agreeing with Dinnerbone, especially about Zolo scenes, but he's right this time.
Thank you, Joseph.
Anytime, Donnie, I'll sniff your hair if you'll sniff mine.
Joe, that analogy made no sense and was creepy as hell.
My bad.
Trump, while I can concede that the nothing happened scene is very good, and for many people is the main draw of Thriller Bark, but for me, when I read the story of the arc,
Jesus Christ, is
I
he
began to
still in
really
office?
enjoy the thought of a
This speech is
zombification
longer
devil
than my
fruit
last address to
and
the
the
nation.
implications it
I'm
has on the
surprised he
future
hasn't
of the
started
story.
ranking his
Not
favorite
only
songs
that,
of
but
the year
introducing
yet.
us to Ors Jr. and allowing speculation to be done on him once we meet Ors III. And finally, we have the Brook backstory. He has one of, if not the most compelling backstory of any Straw Hat. For those reasons, I will not settle for Thriller Bark to be under B tier.
All right, start coping, Barry Boy, because me and Uncle Joey decided to put this one in C tier.
Sorry, Barack. He DM'd me and told me if I didn't, he would dox me.
Joe, you live in the White House.
How did you figure that out, you sly son of a bitch?
He's lost it. He's officially lost it. Let's only hope he loses the election next.
Calm down, Joe, anyway. I don't like it, but I'll settle for C tier. Next up, we have Sal Body. Now I'm fine with putting the first visit to Sal Body in S tier for the Charlos punch alone.
Oh, hell yeah, Obama. He sent that asshole back to manga colors. That shit was dope.
I'll have to agree with you guys on this one. Seeing Luffy be on the top of the world after punching Charlos and then being immediately separated from his crew and forced to adapt was pure genius.
Okay, boys, what about Amazon Lily?
STA, an island of women and little girls and women. How could you not love that?
Joe, you manage to creep me out more and more each day.
Let him cook, OBZ. I'm not in it for the children like old Joey Boy is, but I will say that for how short it was, seeing that a warlord of the sea's power didn't affect Luffy, hell, even worked the opposite way for him in him bagging Hancock, was a cool reversal of expectations.
Every single arc cannot be S tier. Amazon Lily is a perfect example of an A tier arc.
Rich coming from the guy who married a man.
You leave Mickey out of this.
Penis muncher.
Amazon Lily is a...
Writer.
All right, shut the fuck up, Donald. Amazon Lily was nothing but a setup arc for one of 3 double S tier arcs. While I will concede that Luffy's goal of saving Ace is a valiant one, it was lame as fuck seeing him have to piece together a plan when he is an actual idiot.
Fuck up, Obama. Luffy came up with a better plan to break Ace out of prison than you did to close Guantanamo Bay.
Harsh. Still going in A tier, though.
Come on, you can't be serious.
Cope. Oh boy, now we have a really good one. Impel Down Boys, where does this one go?
Double S tier. Bon Clay was a beautiful ally who pushed Luffy to survive multiple times and after saving his life 3 times, continues to sacrifice himself to help Luffy escape. Easily one of the best arcs in the series.
Hard agree, Sleepy Joe, especially because we got to see Blackbeard's strategy and how he can truly think of everything just like I did. Plus, I totally respect the fact that he went after people who he knew was strong and recruited them to his crew like Shiryu.
Ooh, and meeting Jinbei in the bottom level of hell was a great introduction to a former warlord, and to show what happens if someone gets stripped of that title.
You know what, fellas? I'll agree with you. Bon Clay was one of my favorite characters.
Wonder why...
And the immediate heartbreak of learning Ace's execution got moved up. Truly a perfect arc. Double S tier. Okay, now we have Marineford.
Holy fuck, I love war. Double S tier.
Marineford was one of the best stretches in any piece of media ever. Whitebeard's death, the futile attempt to save Ace, everything was perfect.
I agree on this one too, boys. This was exactly what we needed after over 500 chapters of setup. We got a payoff that most anime-manga could dream of, and we're still not even done with the story.
I would like to take a moment of silence for our fallen comrade, Whitebeard. What a warrior. Barry, you can lump this with the post-war chapters and put it in double S tier.
I'm with Trunks on this one.
Okay, guys, we're officially halfway done with the tier list. How's it looking so far?
I'm not upset about it.
Me neither, Donnie. Actually, I agree with most of this looking back on it.